Some things take so long, but how do I explain?
Your own privacy, you obviously regard that very highly. And when John Lennon was murdered, how did that affect your lifestyle? More from a safety point of view or from an emotional point of view?
I think from both points of view. First of all, it was, I mean, obviously such a shock, because assassination is something which, you know, up until that time hadn't really got down to that level. I mean, it was always presidents and leaders like that. And I wouldn't think, you know, somebody who's a pop star was important enough to kill. You know, it's a terrible thing. I don't think anybody is important enough to kill, you know, really. And that, but I could see why, you know, there's assassinations with political leaders and stuff, just extremist. And obviously, if it could happen to him, it could happen to anybody, you know, who gets up on a stage or who walks out of a car. And, you know, so it was a bit scary from that side. I think if you like, say, a plane crash, there's a friend of mine who was terrified. I think we've all been through that, you know, fear of flying. A friend of mine was terrified of flying, and in the end he decided to go to a psychiatrist. And instead of the psychiatrist saying to him the sort of thing you would expect, he said to him, it doesn't matter if you crash, you're not important. Which is true, really. It's like it's an ego thing of, I am going to crash. Me, I'm so important that I'm going to crash. But really, you know, that's another way of looking at it. You're not that important, don't worry, you know, it's... And the same thing goes for that, you know, for assassination. I would like to think, you know, I'm not that important.
While he mightn't be worried about protecting himself, George has been keeping an eye on this man, John Lennon's son, Julian. As he told us about Julian, George revealed some surprising things about the character of John Lennon. Things that he wouldn't like to see carried on by Julian as he launches his own career.
Julian happens to be very talented. He's really good. He's got a lot of good tunes. He's only just started to try and do lyrics. But he, apart from him physically looking like John a bit, with his glasses and long hair, he really isn't anything like John. He's more like his mother. He's much gentler, softer person. John was like very tough. I mean, he had that ability to be gentle and soft and was lovely, but he was, you know, he was acid too. I mean, that he gave that hard edge to the Beatles.
Why do you think that was? What gave him that tough edge in his own personality?
Well, it may be because the way he was, you know, a sort of an orphan, as Popeye would say. He was an orphan, you know. Well, I mean, he didn't, his father left home, and, you know, all that, you've heard the songs. Mother, you left me, but I didn't leave you. But, you know, John was a real, you know, much harder, tougher person. Julian is, you know, gentle, and so I don't think there's any comparison, and it's unfortunate that, you know, that Julian is allowing himself to be, you know, interviewed or put in the newspapers and all that.
Can't see we're all the same, and because of all the tears, their eyes can hope to see the beauty that surrounds them. Isn't it a pity? easily a change.